WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate series to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacey and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our Uncommon Place.
Welcome to West Virginia Uncommon Place. I'm one of the hosts. I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.
And we are back together. This demo series that we have started is just to test the technology that we have. The funny setup is I'm using an iPad, a Zoom recorder, a microphone, and Stacey is using what?
I am on my iPhone with the AirPods.
So, and it's an amazing sound. I clown people about using that type of stuff, but I didn't realize how great it is if you can get that sound quality great. And an amazing thing also that I'm doing on this end is that I disconnect it from the iPad, and it's just literally us with the Zoom recorder, me on a microphone, and you just with some power running to the extension cable. So we're not actually recording on any type of instrument now, but just on the Zoom recorder. So it eliminates a whole lot of that having to worry about connections, and the worst thing that can happen is the phone disconnect, and then we're off of here. So,
but that's the thing that, like you said, you can't have an iPhone and an iPhone recording it and expect it to have great quality, and you can't have like, what is it, Zoom and the other type of platforms that you use to record. If one person doesn't have a really good setup and the other person has sketchy service, then you're not going to have great quality in your sound.
And that is so true. And I even notice, like, I joke a little bit in these lives when I get on them with people sometimes. These people buy these Roadcasters and all this stuff, and then I listen to their stuff, and I'm like, you sound good, but the person you're talking to sounds like they're talking through a 2004 Nokia cell phone. You know, and I'm like, wow, y'all, you spend all that money on what you have, but who you're recording with just doesn't sound that great. So, Stacey, let the world know a little bit about what's going on with you nowadays, just real quick, so the audience, because they ask about you, and I never give you all the questions, but mainly people want to know what are you watching on TV, and how's your life going? Everybody knows about your Thursday, but what have you been up to in life lately?
I mean, not a whole lot. Working extra. We have started Blue Bloods. I've seen not Blue Bloods. Oh my goodness, Criminal Minds. Blue Bloods is on my list after we finish Criminal Minds, so that was on my mind. We've started Criminal Minds, which of course we watch together. So since you're out on the road right now, we're kind of getting behind on that. Of course, Grey's Anatomy and Station 19 on Thursdays. And then we also watch 911, waiting for Lone Star to come back on. I mean, that's about it. Staying busy.
And one thing that we did get to finish is an amazing show that I like, and I push it on people. I am a bully to a degree when it comes to TV shows and movies. Justified. We finished Justified, and that's something that I want to go back in. After we get done with Blue Bloods, we probably can rewatch it. But it's one of those things that you can actually make your old school time frames to watch shows, and you can just fit that and those type of shows. And that's one thing I do like about our compatibility. We can fit shows in. Like, we watch My Name is Earl, but My Name is Earl kind of faded off because it's something that we can watch any time. It's not like it's just going to disappear. We know it'll be there forever.
I don't think it's that we have let it fade off. It's just My Name is Earl is such a short episode, and so we always like to do those when we know we're busy, especially in the summertime, where we know we're out running around in the evenings doing whatever. and or whenever, if you work midnights, it makes it a lot easier for us to be able to watch those short, quick episodes at that time. So when it comes to wintertime or you're working day shifts, it makes it easier for us to be able to watch the longer episodes.
And I definitely agree with that. The 30 minutes goes a long way. So that's going to tie into the first topic that I want to jump into while we have Stacey with us. And also, yes, this is demo number 7. This demo series is us using different mock-ups or setups to do episodes, so we can hear the sound quality and go back in and say, hey, this didn't work, this worked, and this didn't. So here's a major topic. Disney Plus has, and this goes Disney Plus, Netflix, and I am not actually an Amazon Prime Video watcher. I can honestly say in my lifetime that I have never used the service. Even though I don't even know if we own it or if we don't.
We do. We have Amazon Prime.
All right, so I've never used Prime Video, probably because I don't know the login, but that's another story for another day. So
you can't have that login because that's where your birthday and Christmas presents come from.
So I guess I'll never know about those shows. So
right.
So here's the deal. Disney Plus, that is the Disney Plus and Hulu are the number one things that we watch. Correct?
Yep.
In Disney's acquisition of Fox last year or whatever year it was, and they got The Simpsons, and a lot of that catalog over there, and owning Hulu at the same time, tie us in. Those are our biggest things. I watch Hulu and I watch Disney for ubiquitous stuff like Silver Surfer and the old animation cartoons from my childhood, and Hulu is what I watch for to TV, hands down.
Right.
So when we look for these things, we catch them on the specials. We can get Hulu for 99 cents for the whole year on Black Friday.
Right, Black Friday sale.
Disney Plus, I think we pay regular price for Disney Plus, but we're about to bundle all that together. But here's where my problem came in. I got a lot of emails this week, one from Apple about the increase of whatever I do over there, which is only $3, so I can't be mad about that. But $3 is a lot when you think about it. Disney,
right, especially when you're not using all of the services available through that.
True.
Like, they need to break it down. Like, we have no interest in all the extra stuff that goes along with it. Like, we should be able to do a bundle.
Yeah, better bundle than what we have. But Disney Plus going up $3 to $10.99, and you know they're starting an ad platform just like Netflix did. Netflix started an ad platform, so they're offering a cheaper service with ads. But we've known Netflix, just diving into them real fast. Sorry to go off topic, but Netflix always knew them never to have ads. It was one of the reasons I liked Netflix. I have not paid for Netflix in over 4 years. 5 years. Netflix was a thing that it didn't. They have great programming, but it doesn't work for me. What about you, Stacey? What is your deal between the three, Hulu, Disney, and Netflix?
I mean, like you said, Hulu, we get 99 cents a month for a year with Black Friday sales. Disney Plus, I like it. I'm rewatching all of the old Simpsons, getting caught up. Netflix, I'm kind of like you. Like, there's not a whole lot of need for it unless you're like, hey, I want to watch this series over again, so let me pay for it until I get done finishing this series. And then it's let me cancel it.
Yeah, and like with Netflix, it was like The Orange is the New Black was something that we were into. We got deep into, what is that show that I turned us on to, the British version, the tough thing, what was that thing called?
All right.
Wentworth. Wentworth
yes.
was the name of Wentworth. And then the show that we're having a dispute over as we speak today is The Witcher.
Yes, I know. We need to get signed back up so we can watch The Witcher.
And those are the three things I watch. And after that, you can tell me anything else. And everybody knows that I'm pretty much a bootlegger. I'll just get the episodes off a torrent. And please don't come get me MPAA. I didn't really mean that. But it's just like Netflix doesn't razzle and dazzle me. Even though they do all these amazing movies people talk about, these movies end up on the other places that we get movies from and different things like the day after or sometimes the day before it's even released on Netflix. So I just don't see that being a good deal. Now,
I mean, I can see why people use Netflix for example, like Orange is the New Black, even though like it's a Netflix series, but say the entire season is out and you know that, so you don't have to wait until the next week to watch it. That is one thing that Netflix is really good about, is having a series in its entirety out there, and you're not having to wait. Of course, Hulu, it's more like live TV. You got to wait week to week. Now, granted, there are quite a few series out there that are over with that are still on Hulu, but I can see why some people would want to watch Hulu or Netflix over Hulu, and then, just have one or the other.
and then digging into Disney Plus. Disney Plus does these three things great: Marvel, Disney, and Star Wars, and Net Geo. Or not National Geographic, whatever that extra stuff that they do with the animals and stuff. But between all that mix and plus with the Star Wars stuff, with the Simpsons or the Fox stuff that's on there, Disney to me is is the champion, because like I was looking at it today. I had this stuff up this morning before I went and took me a cat nap, and I seen different stuff that intrigued me. I'm like, this, some Star Wars stuff I know I gotta watch alone because we don't do Star Wars, but Disney Plus is, to me, is where it's at. Now, I'd like to move on to another streaming platform. I know that this episode we're going to do more than just talk about this, but it's this is one thing. It's these two that rub me the wrong way: Peacock and HBO Max. HBO Max had two shows. One of them we started watching and we just forgot about. And then they had one brilliant show. The one with John Cena. Peacemaker. Peacemaker was to some people was a piece of trash, but to me, Peacemaker is the best TV superhero show I saw this year.
I mean, we didn't like it in the beginning, so it's one you gotta kind of get used to. Like it took us a couple episodes to enjoy it.
And I can say this, it's one of the one episodes that we don't skip the intro.
Right.
And then the other show that we started watching was called The Watchmen. It started off awkward. And we watched one full episode, got into a second one, and then we forgot about it.
Which one is that?
That's the one where the superheroes are... It had the black lady as the superhero, Regina King. And her... and the sheriff got hung in the tree and all the extra stuff. It had a lot of racial overtones.
Right. Okay.
And I mean, it's a good show, but it didn't catch on with us. And then HBO Max had some movies that I had never seen, and I will admit this: I had never seen Harry Potter until this year. And we started watching them on that, and this is where my conflict comes in with Peacock and HBO Max. So these movies and different things have certain license, and you never know who actually owns the stuff until it's not on the streaming service anymore. So we were watching Harry Potter, and then all of a sudden those movies got switched to Peacock. And
I think they're back on HBO Max now.
All right, I'll have to check on that. But just as of the time that I was looking for the stuff, they left HBO.
Right.
HBO Max made me mad, so I didn't go back and watch them because I have them at my disposal. But I wanted to be able to use the streaming service because of the Dolby surround sound, and you know what our setup is in our bedroom. So
it looks better.
Yeah, and it sounds better, with the sound bar and all that other stuff. So I just wanted that back. But Peacock rubbed me the wrong way, and I would love your opinion of Peacock after this, is when the Fresh Prince came back out. This new Fresh Prince was not the Fresh Prince I grew up with. Did not even watch an episode. I watched the trailer, and I got disgusted. The only thing that attracted me to Peacock is where the WWE Network kind of folded or whatever they've done with it. WWE pay-per-view events are on Peacock, so I watch it.
Right.
And that's it. What is your take on all that?
I mean, Peacock had some good movies. They had some cute shows. I'm all about the Christmas movies, and they have a lot of the Hallmark Channel Christmas movies. So we're going to be watching quite a bit of that this month and next month, by the way. But yeah, I feel like Peacock kind of adapted to some of these other, I don't know what you would call them. They combined forces with some of these failed streaming services. Like you said, we don't know what happened with the WWE network, but it kind of makes you wonder, did Peacock fall and WWE bought it, or did the network fall and Peacock bought them?
I want to say the opposite. I want to, because Peacock is NBC. NBC is way bigger than WWE. That was the home of Friends and different shows like that. So I want to say that NBC probably picked them up. But like you said, that's one of those things that'll be behind the scenes that someone can research and let us know
Right.
later on down the road. So digging into all that, Disney Plus is supreme. We looked over some price points and all that other stuff you can find on the internet. I don't want to go too deep into all that kind of stuff because that's not necessary for what we do. So moving along.
Hold on. I disagree with you when you say that Disney Plus is supreme.
Whoa.
I mean, I completely disagree. I feel like if you have a young child, or if you're one of those adults that have, I don't want to say an obsession because that makes it sound like a negative term. Like if you're one of those adults that enjoys the pastime, and you prefer to watch that stuff over current day, or if you're the type of person that really enjoys anime, like Disney Plus is for you. But I don't know. I'm gonna say I prefer HBO, or not HBO. I'm sorry. I prefer Hulu over any of the streaming services we have. Because, I mean, I'm only watching The Simpsons on Disney Plus, unless I have a kid over that I'm watching and decide to throw a cartoon on for them.
All right, so let me clarify. I said that the wrong way. The Disney Plus bundle, that's what I meant, is the supreme thing to have. That's what I meant to say. I apologize about that. Because with that, we watch sports, but we watch sports in circles. So
right.
Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus, that for the $20 unlimited thing that you can get right now before December, which we will be packaging that in another week or so that we don't have to worry about the price increase. And
we're not sponsored, but if somebody wants to shout out with it to us, you know how to reach us.
Right, definitely. WBUncommonplace@gmail.com. Definitely. Definitely going to get that Disney bundle. And any family member that listens to this episode, if you'd like to do that for me, that's $20 times 12. So not a lot of money, but you can keep us happy all year long. And the last thing I want to add into this whole streaming thing, the one thing that killed me with Netflix was them cracking down on people sharing passwords, charging more money for people to do that.
Right. My issue with that is, you have mom here, and mom's got 4 kids. Well, that right there is 5 different devices if somebody wants to have that on their phone, or 5 different bedrooms because you know how kids fight and how parents want to watch something different. So, little Timmy here wants to go to a sleepover and decides he wants to take his Netflix on his cell phone with him. They want to be like, anybody outside of your household can't use it.
Yeah, and especially like in our household where we both travel together and then we travel apart, and even when we're together, if I'm on lunch break somewhere and you're at wherever, or you're working, or I'm at the hotel or something else, we both have devices that we're streaming something on during the day without each other at some point during the day. And like, that's just what gets me, because Hulu don't care what I'm doing. They ain't never cared.
Right.
And any other service, if they do care, then they do something, to block it out. And another thing that gets me is that, like, it's not like we're taking the cell phones and trying to stream that stuff to a TV or anything, or doing anything extra like that. We're actually just watching it on that one device, and it's not like we're trying to show it to a bunch of people, unless it's someone with a projector, but we're not talking about projectors on here. But just in general, like, I pay for that license to watch this stuff, so I should be able to watch it on any device anywhere where I'm at, no matter who I share it with or whatever I share it with. And if they're really losing money, then they have technology to just take it off that one device. They may have to police more, but police more and don't tax us for it, because that's what the increases I've seen from Netflix. No offense, because Netflix isn't that great. But anyway, on to better topics.
They want to make more money just like everybody else.
On to better topics. Like, a lot of things are changing in price, and then we're seeing a lot of things get consolidated. Entertainment-wise, I just want to keep going on that stretch. This one is dedicated to all PC gamers, what I'm about to talk about here. And this is near and dear to anybody that plays this special game called The Sims. Anybody that plays Electronic Arts games. Origin, which is an ESPN product. I mean, I said ESPN, I mean Electronic Arts product, merged into the EA app not too long ago. And Stacey, could you tell us a little bit about how that's gone for you, the migration to that?
I mean, unless I just had really good luck that day, it was simple. All I did was I had already had the EA downloaded on my gaming laptop. I don't know if you downloaded it, playing with it one day, or I had downloaded accidentally, whatever. But all I had to do was log into EA, and it transitioned over very smoothly. I think I was somewhere where the internet wasn't great, so that's why it took as long as it did. But just as soon as it uploaded all of my information into EA, it started just the way that it used to with Origin. So now I don't even go into Origin anymore.
And literally, it was just a way to enhance their platform, basically, because Origin's been around, I want to say, at least since 2011. And, you got your friends listen to all the different stuff if you play other games besides The Sims. But, like, I just noticed, just in technology, like, a lot of different things changing. Even, like, the presence on our cell phones. Like, it's like everything's changing. I just jumped on YouTube for the first time today, and I seen the layout of YouTube, and I'm like, this isn't the YouTube I'm used to. This is some other random blah blah blah. YouTube looks like my TikTok almost, or it looks like whatever, So technology's changing and getting all crazy. And one little quick shot I want to throw out there to anybody, and we don't cover sports at all, but I do want to say a huge shout out to the New York Jets. And on that note, also, I want to say this: it's amazing that they can win games the way they do, but some reason the New England Patriots have that card. I don't know why, what it is.
They make me so mad every year. And we want to also let everybody know that we're not just jumping on the bandwagon because they're 6-2 this year. I personally have liked the New York Jets ever since Ben Roethlisberger made me mad with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so, since then, I have been a New York Jets fan. And even though they lose a lot, it's all right.
And I've been a New York Jets fan off and on. I steadily follow them probably since 2004. Before that, I was a diehard Redskins fan, and I had to leave Redskins alone, just like anybody that knows Redskins, Dallas Cowboys. At some point, you got to find a different team. And no offense to any of you guys, but it's a boat that floats, but it has plugs in it because it sinks sometimes. And with the Jets doing what they're doing right now, shout out to them. Also, real quick, we don't even talk about baseball, but Houston Astros pulled off something amazing. Dusty Baker, you really deserved that win. You did a lot in San Francisco and other places, but shout out to y'all, because I was out here close to Philadelphia, and these people went crazy when they lost that World Series a day or so ago. And anybody hearing this episode is being recorded on the 6th of November, so you'll hear this episode week after next, because demo number 6 has to come out Saturday. This comes out the following Saturday. The demo series will be off and on, something that we're doing. So rounding up to all that, we'll jump over into video games real quick.
Wait, hold on. We need to go back to your comment. You were saying the New York Jets and the New England Patriots.
Yes.
So I just got to throw this in here. I know we had this conversation last weekend before the game, and I was telling you, or you told me that they were playing that weekend. I'm like, oh yeah. I said, well, they're going to lose anyways. And we had the discussion, and you're like, no, they might win. They should win. Shouldn't be a problem. I said, nope. I said the Jets are going to have the lead, and they're going to do very well in the first 3 quarters, but they're going to lose it in the fourth quarter. Either they're going to completely blow the fourth quarter, or they're going to lose right at the end. And lo and behold, the Jets lost to the daggone New England Patriots. And I don't know what it is. Like, they can't seem to beat them.
Right, and that's crazy. I'm just and it's like, them beating Buffalo. It's kind of like, I know we don't do sports, but this is the thing. Buffalo
Right.
and Kansas City are the AFC teams that you consider going to the Super Bowl because they were the best teams last year, and both of them are still good. Buffalo Bills, I didn't get to see the game, but I heard that the game was kind of crazy. The Bills just didn't show up today, and
It was close. Like, when I was watching, I'm like, oh, great. I said, the Jets are probably going to lose today. And I went outside and then came back in, and it was tied. And I'm like, oh, snap. But, yeah, they won it in the last, 10 minutes of the game.
okay, so I mean, it wasn't like it was an upset; it was a tight game.
Right, it was 17-20.
Oh,
Jets.
all right, yeah. So that could have been a field goal going into overtime, basically.
Right.
Oh yeah, so that's one of those good games of football.
Right, one missed catch by the Bills lost them the game.
Yeah, and I seen that.
It was so close. They could have scored that run there if
Dude had caught
they
the ball.
wouldn't have. Well, I can't even remember now. I don't know if he was even close enough to catch the ball. Like, I don't know if their quarterback threw it wrong, or I can't remember. It's been too long of a day.
And that's one of those things, like, it just happens the way it happens. Now,
Right.
tying back over into video games real quick, everybody knows that over on our Twitch channel, I am playing one game in particular, and that is freaking Fist of the North Star, Lost Judgment. Not going to go into any details about it, but our video game process lately, playing stuff and just doing stuff, has come to a complete halt. We have not been playing video games much, have we, Stacey?
We haven't. I mean, we've both been super busy. Like, even on weekends, we were both working there almost a month worth of, working every day.
So, yeah, it's been one of those deals where video games have not been a factor. So, I want people to remember we're still big into games. We still got to play, Fire Emblem Warriors Part 2, the real version. And then we have the game that's amazing on the Switch, and I want people to dive into this if you get a chance. Super Mario Party All-Stars. I may have had a Super on there, but Mario Party All-Stars. It is a game, if you get a chance to play it, it's not that it's great or anything, but it's fun because you really get snubbed and cheated in that game, thinking you're going to win.
Yes!
And it makes you mad, but it's a fun little. If you play the hour version, it's good. I don't like playing the shorter version. We need to start doing the middle version. But if you get into it and get a good groove, and you don't even have to have that many players. I like to play it with like 4 people if we ever get a chance. But
Right.
if we had 4 people, we'd actually probably win. But for some reason, the way that they jerk it, the lackluster player always wins the game.
Right.
And that's one that I dive into, and I've been collecting a bunch of different games. Bayonetta is something that I'll dive into later. Other than that, pop culture and different things, there's a lot of things that are going on in the U.S., United States, and music and different things. I don't want to touch on any of those topics because it's too much going on in the world, and people have so many different opinions on things. There's only one debate that is still trickling with me, and it rubs me the wrong way every time I hear people talk about it, is Google's press for entry into iMessaging. Apple has given a way for you to do FaceTime. And that's something that I'm like, that's cool. You can do FaceTime with people on Android. They have to have the browser open, blah, blah, blah. But iMessage is an encrypted way for iPhones to talk between each other. And that's something that is part of the mystique of being part of the iOS ecosystem. What's your thought on that, Stacey? Do you think that we should allow Androids into iMessage, or we should break from the iMessage format and go into something that's universal for all phones?
I mean, what they have now is universal to all phones. Like, I was unaware of this because obviously I don't pay attention or something. But, I mean, it makes no sense. Just keep it the way it is. I don't know why people insist on changing something if there's nothing wrong with it. Because it's not like we can't communicate with anybody. I mean, to me, it's another way to control costs or whatever, Like, oh, well, you can't do this unless you have service. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all weird.
Right. But that's one of the things that I'm just like, yeah, like, let's not even worry with that. Let's not make major business about stuff. And we're getting to the end of the year, so, people are refocusing life. My other topic I'd like to talk about, if you don't care, real quick, before we jump off here, because we got a 30-minute episode in the bank, guys and ladies and everyone else in between, is this. Customer service. And when I do customer service, we're talking about customer service as a whole. It could be the restaurant, it could be Walmart, it could be Target, it could be our favorite store, Meijer. Which Meijer, I've never had any issues because we don't go very often, and we don't get help from anybody in Meijer anyway. They just stay wherever they are, and you just get what you need.
And that's not in a rude way. Like, if you need help, like, they were great when we had issues at the register. Like, the lady was so nice, and she didn't question anything. We asked questions. We needed help with the price adjustment or whatever, and she was super nice. So that's not what he was saying there.
Yeah, not saying anything disrespectful to Meijer, because it's one of my favorite department stores, and I did say that for the record. Everybody that plays it up about Walmart. So here goes the story. A few weeks ago, it's you, myself, some young individuals that are cousins, nephews, nieces, or whatever. Loretta's a person that we go around with and eat, and her daughter, and we're at Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse is is it Texas Roadhouse? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse is my third favorite restaurant in my top 10 restaurants. And going to Texas Roadhouse, it's one thing that's got to be right, and that's got to be the buns. And I'm not talking about the buns that you guys are thinking of, so get straight out the gutter. I'm talking about the bread, the rolls. And those rolls were burnt the fuck up. Excuse my language, y'all. Burnt really bad. And we eventually got good rolls, the drinks and stuff. Anybody knows this about
But we had to ask for it. We had to request good rolls. We had to be like, oh, hey, can we get some more rolls, but can you try to get us some that aren't burnt? But, the baker or whatever could have been having a rough day, but
True.
They don't know there's a problem unless you say something, but be nice when you say something.
Yeah, never be rude, because all they're gonna do is spit in your food or do something bad. They'll slowly phase you out of eating your food. That's what I'll say. They'll slowly phase you out of eating your food. And then here's a story real quick. Stacey, I want you to say this because I'll sound obnoxious if I say this. When I buy a drink at a store or at a restaurant and it costs $4.99, what am I going to do about that drink?
I mean, you're probably going to have about 8 glasses of drink. Soda, lemonade, pop, whatever you want to call it.
Enough to make a 2-liter.
Right. If we're paying for a 2-liter price, then we're going to get a 2-liter amount of drinks out of it.
Yeah, no doubt in that. And if anybody crosses that can cut into your tip, because bringing my food half the time, what I found at Texas Roadhouse is you order food, but somebody else brings it to you. It's not even the person that gets your food. So we go through. We have to wait a while. I want to say we wait 30 minutes for food or 25 minutes maybe.
It was a long time.
It was long enough.
I think it was about 45 minutes.
45 minutes for food, and this is not. We didn't order any appetizers or anything. We just ordered regular food, right?
Right.
Right. So my food gets out there. I order a steak, order some mashed potatoes with gravy, and the reason I always order mashed potatoes with gravy is this: because usually the gravy's hot and the potatoes are cold, so I won't know the difference. I get my food, my gravy and potatoes are cold, but my steak is supposed to be hot. It looks hot. Cut into it, and that thing is colder. And I eat a medium well steak. It's cold. It's horrible. But I'm the type of person I can eat it because that's what I wanted. I worked hard for my money, so I'm going to eat it and not say anything. The young man that is taking care of us, he's over in the Texas Roadhouse on the go area, just chilling, doing whatever. And he doesn't necessarily come back and check on us very often. I'm not mad about him for what he's doing. I'm just mad that he wasn't trained to be attentive.
I don't know. I was kind of upset with the way he was. I mean, we were there for a very long time, and we all could have used refills. I think I didn't even get a refill. That's how bad the service was.
All right, so I recant my statement. It was horrible.
I could see him in the window. He spent a lot more time in there than I think you noticed, and when he should have been out there, because the other lady that was serving back in that area, she had 2 different sets of tables that came in after us, and both of her people sets of tables were drinks, food ordered, food served, and they were almost done it with their meal by the time our food came out.
Yeah, so let's just put it to what it was. It was a shitty service. So
yeah.
I didn't think that it was an economical issue because the guys seem young. The people in there are very young, so it's like it could be the college crowd because we have a few universities around us. Shout out to Marietta and whatever that Ohio Valley thing is over there in the corner of Vienna, and WVUP. But we have college kids around there, and we have high school kids around there. Mainly the high school. That's probably PHS working.
Right, and it could have been someone after that.
Right.
I'm not saying that he was awful, but it's more of a, maybe you should just pay just a little bit more attention and pretend that you want to be here.
Yeah, so true. So that didn't go too well. And then another incident I had, we were working in Zanesville, Ohio. Shout out to everybody out there in Ohio.
Hold on. We gotta go back to this guy.
Okay.
So your food wasn't the only. We gotta finish it. My goodness.
Right.
Your food wasn't the only one that was cold, but I mean, I think I was the only one that the food was warm. And I'm not saying that because I was special or anything. I'm saying that probably because mine took the longest to make, or it was the last one made. I mean, I know that happens when you have more people. The more people you have, they think you want it all together. So they try to just hurry up and make stuff and get it out there. So I know that there's sometimes issues with that. We didn't get rude. We didn't get nasty with the guy. We were nice. We were polite. And we still tipped because that's cooking we didn't have to do at the house. And we know that a lot of issues there are not always the fault of the server. Yeah, maybe he should have paid a little bit more attention and made sure that we had drinks, but he was always making sure we had rolls, and he was, just grabbing what was up there. And like you said, the server isn't always the person that brings you back your meal. It's the responsibility of the runner. So we actually decided not to punish the server for, all of the issues that we had.
Right, because like you said, it could have been indiscretion
Right.
of the runner. So,
right.
Can I go on to Zanesville, Ohio now?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure people knew that just because you have a crappy experience one time, just remember it's not always the issue of your server. So don't be a jackass and not tip because, something went wrong.
Right, and that's a hard job to do for the money that they make.
Right.
So we were over in Zanesville, Ohio. That was one place I was working. We were both working at, actually. Thank you for saving us out there, Stacey. We always glad to have you aboard whenever you can come help save the jobs and the disasters that I run into. So thank you for that. If I don't ever tell you that, I'd like it to be recorded on here. And what was that restaurant we ate at? It was a breakfast restaurant.
Oh,
Denny's.
was it Denny's?
Denny's. Okay.
Oh, Denny's.
Denny's. So we're at Denny's, and I ordered French toast.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And you know, the service was fine because we were there eating breakfast. I had just made a decision like, hey, I want a good breakfast.
The service was not fine. I think you're mixing up the 2 days.
I'm mixing up the 2 days. I'm getting old.
Yes.
So tell the story.
The first day that we went in there, the service was great. We didn't think it was going to be very good because, you know, we were running behind. We decided to stop and eat anyways, and we just thought it was going to be a bad day. Well, it actually wasn't. It was actually good service. The lady was really nice and everything. It's when we decided to go back the next time because, remember, the lady was having issues or something, and she left out crying.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then, we didn't get any refills on anything, and it was rushed, and the food was not as high quality as it was the day before. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so what I want to say to people in these type of things, please take your time, waitresses, cooks, and things like that. You know, I understand it's high pressure, but you're not going to get yelled at because y'all can kick people out the restaurant. Y'all can call the police. Just stay calm. That's what I'm getting at with that part. And then I had an incident where Burger King closed. Burger King was supposed to be open and Burger King closed. Somebody said it caught on fire, but it did catch on fire because they were back in there the next morning.
Right.
We still need people to go out and work at these places. Like, I understand that places are cutting back on offering all that money now, but please, anybody that's still out here that needs a job, please go work at one of these places. It doesn't matter the title or what you're doing. I mean, money doesn't matter how much you're making, but some of these places really do need some help because they're not getting the quality workers anymore, and everything seems like it's got a teenager drive behind it. It seems like in fast food there's so many teenagers working now, not for breakfast, but that when it gets time for dinner and on the weekend, I have to be choosy and choicy about what I do on the weekends.
Right, and we're not saying that it's a negative thing. I mean, I think it's a very positive when kids are going out there and wanting to work early. It shows them responsibility. Another personal opinion of mine, I think every person should be required to work in the food service industry for a year, and then also customer service for a year.
Because it will change your opinion on things.
Right.
Now, one thing that I will drop here, because I do this episode every week, Applebee's, in the last iterations, we've been to Applebee's everywhere, Ohio, Tennessee, doesn't matter, we go everywhere. So my take on Applebee's is I'm not going to have anything bad or good to say about Applebee's. I'm just going to say this. It is the only restaurant I can go into that the only time that the food's messed up is if it's cold.
Right.
For some reason, that food may be prepackaged and cooked somewhere else, and they just heat it up, which I'm starting to believe, but not steaks, but other things. It's a premix or somebody preps it early on and knows what they're doing. But I have no complaints about Applebee's about just the food being cold. And sometimes the Dr. Pepper is lackluster because their machine carbonation, and that goes anywhere. When I go to these different restaurants, the soda, if your soda is good, I'll come back to your restaurant because I can stomach your food as long as I can get it down my passageway. But I will say this, some of my Spanish eating places, I'm not going to use the word Mexican because some of these places are not Mexican food. They're Tex-Mex and different things and whatever. Spanish food places usually have the best Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pitt.
Yes.
Ooh. Especially that one in the middle of out there in Parkersburg. I don't know the name of it, but shout out to that one with the good soda. There's two of them that got good soda, and one that has a giant mug. But
well, there's one of them. The one by Ollie's is the best. That's our favorite, but they're also the busiest. I hate to say we settle, but we settle for second best when they're busy and go to the one by Kohl's.
Yeah. And then shout out to the fajita joint out there in Ravenswood. Sometimes you're on point, sometimes you're not.
They make me mad sometimes.
A lot of pressure in there in a small place, and especially if you got to go up those stairs. Those stairs are crazy. They're
And
not
they're not straight stairs; they're the spiral stairs.
something out of a fire
So
station or something.
yeah, yeah. And I have a bad balance, so it was not fun.
Right. And it's really tight. Two people trying to get past it, no matter your size, it's rough. Somebody
Right.
has to take a chance at death going up and down those stairs. But anyway, that's tying up the food stuff and the stuff with life. I'm glad that we were able to have Stacey come back on. It's always exciting when I have you on. We can just go back and forth about things. A lasting impression I want to leave on people is, it's getting towards the end of the year. And everybody talks about this double-ended blade on checking on people and people checking on each other. I have a new stance in life on that. Meet each other in the middle. If people check on each other equally and it's not one-sided, that's how relationships and things stay, fresh and stay good. When people get out here and start doing all this one-sidedness, like I was going to start doing my Christmas card deal, and something happened and I just decided I'm not doing it this year because every time that I try to initiate it, people join the bandwagon a few, and then other people are like, oh, why didn't I get a Christmas card? So I'm like, people can meet me halfway in the middle. If I get a Christmas card from you early, I'll make something creative for you. But I'm not extending myself hard this year. And just the same thing with Christmas presents. There's an allotted amount of children in the world that need Christmas presents. Adults, we're grown.
Right.
Get,
Right.
Get me a gift card.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna sound like a complete B word, but don't don't be that type of person that doesn't bring your kid around to see me. Like if I'm the one that has to make all the effort to come see your kid or to be involved in your kid's life, then don't expect a Christmas gift from me. Like I'm probably gonna give your kid one because I like your kid, but don't expect one. And then like another thing that bothers me is, if you don't try to allow your kid to spend time with me and all this stuff, and I only ever see them during certain functions, and you invite me to a party or it's Christmas time and we ask you what they're into, don't tell me to bring money, because that is the last thing I want to hear. If I wanted to give your kid money, I wouldn't have even asked you what your kid liked.
So true. And with me, with people, like, I'm the type of person, I don't like to receive gifts. That's one thing with me. I can get whatever I want. Not saying that in a bragging way, but I go work, and when I want something, I'm going to mull over it for at least a good 45 days before I even purchase it. So,
because it makes it feel like it's well earned if you're buying it for yourself.
Right.
Like you said, it's not in a rude or selfish way or a boasting way. It's, I know I worked hard for this and I can afford to buy it for myself, so I'm going to enjoy it a little bit more.
Right. And it's certain things like minor stuff. If someone bought me like a game for the Nintendo Switch, I will accept that wholeheartedly because I am collecting for the Switch. But outside of that, like gift cards and stuff like that, those things are cool to me because that shows that you thought enough to know that, hey, I watch Netflix. Hey, I like Nintendo. Don't buy me no Xbox
Right.
or PlayStation cards. I don't, because I don't buy nothing digital on them. I ain't bought a digital game in 10 years, period.
Yeah.
Unless it's something on my Switch, because my Switch is my thing. And that's just something for the holidays. And then it's certain people that you do have to check on. I want to go back on my statement. Like certain people that are in certain places that you have to check on those people. So check on those people. But it's the ones that are half-ass about stuff. Those are the ones that I'm talking about. But there are some people that you need to reach out to, because some people are going to have that stance like us or me and not reach out to everybody. So take care of your people, take care of your tribe. That's the one thing that I'm just trying to get out there to everybody. And if you take care of your tribe, then you'll thrive, and then they'll thrive, and then you'll do whatever. I was going to do a rap with that, but I lost the rhyme, so it just didn't happen that way. So, as always, I am JR.
And I'm Stacey.
And we are West Virginia and Commonplace. Please like, subscribe, and get entertained by us on any type of pod catcher. And I said pod catcher. When I say that I mean apps, because I have been corrected on saying podcast apps. Because when you say podcast app, for Android people, there's actually an app called the podcast app. And that is not what I'm talking about. We are on all different type of things with our RSS feed. Feel free to walk yourself over or make your way over to www.wvuncommonplace.com, where you can check out what's going on with Stacey and I. Stacey, anyway, finishing up this quick dialogue that we had with each other. We will be doing more stuff next year. And the great amazing thing about West Virginia and Commonplace, because of the technology and doing these demo episodes, we are able to embrace next year doing true in-person episodes. I'm not calling anything live, because I've done one live interview with someone, and it did halfway decent on Twitch, and then we did another one on YouTube Live that did very well, but I didn't capture the record on it, so it's gone into outer space now, so whatever. But we will be able to do more in-person stuff, and we'll be getting more in-depth into different topics. So anything you want to hear about, anything you want to know about, definitely meet us on all our channels. Hit that amazing link tree up, and if you want QR codes, please send me a DM, and we will send QR codes to you so you can spread the word about West Virginia and Commonplace. On that note, I am signing off.